We are
Talk
back.
about our drinks.
Huh?
All right, so today I'm drinking Crystal Light Energy with a flavor pack from also Crystal Light, an iced drink that I dump in that's caffeinated as well.
Very nice. And I gotta tell Boy Diet Coke. Look at us go. And with that, welcome back to another episode of Siblings in Crime. I'm Allie Rossell.
And I'm Blake Murphy.
And just as it sounds, we're siblings who love true crime.
Yes, love it.
Love it. And as you can see, we are in a different place today. We are actually in Utah. So
yeah, I'm on vacation.
Yippee! So we are gonna go ski, except for there's not much snow.
Yeah, we're going to go hiking.
We're going to go hiking on the ski lifts and see how that goes. So that is why we're in Utah. We're here for the whole week. So we're improvising, and this is what it looks like. So
yeah, this is what it looks like.
This is it. And as always, if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and check out the website, siblingsincrime.com.
Yep.
Send in requests.
Like I said, your requests are flooding in.
Oh, my gosh. I came up.
I know. And so keep it up. I mean, we're going to hire someone to go through them all just because it's overwhelming. But we appreciate it, and we want to find the cases that you guys want us to cover.
So go to contact, send us a message, and that would be oh so very helpful as we decide what we're going to do next.
Yes.
Cool. Anything before I introduce this week's case?
Just one more thing. If you ever want to follow along on our while we're recording, you can always go watch our TikTok live.
True.
I guess
Right
we don't
there.
really tell you when we're gonna record, but if you ever see us record on live, check it out.
That's probably what we're doing.
Yeah, send us some money.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Um.
We've made like 65 cents from Brett. So.
Yeah. So thank you, husband. Big deal for us. 65 cents richer.
Yes. 65 cents going right back into this company.
Look at that turnover. Okay, sweet. Well, in that case, let's get into it. So, March 21st, 2002, John Darwin was last seen along the beach of Canoe in the UK. He was going out to kayak in the sea, something he was known to do. Later that day, his wife, Anne, called the police to report that her husband had not come home. He hadn't shown up to work either later that night. A large-scale sea search started, and there was no sign of John. The next day, his red kayak and paddle washed ashore. 5.5 years later, in a police station over 200 miles away, someone walked in and had a case-breaking claim about the missing John Darwin. And this is our case. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's roll. People don't come at me if I pronounce everything in the UK wrong, but that's just how it goes. I know you talked about...
UK? That's like as close to us as we can get.
I know, but I just never heard of these places before.
Oh,
there's not many
places.
Locations that we talk about.
Yeah.
But I know that in one of your true crime news, you had a guy sailing away or something. But put on a different thinking cap. I don't want you to get stuck down one rabbit hole.
Okay.
Because I think that was a while ago you talked about that. But anyways, so let's talk about John and his wife, Anne.
Okay.
They married in December 22nd, 1973.
Okay.
70s. That had been fun. You can just imagine her hair is probably poofy as heck. Like
Yeah.
the good old photos. I think I actually have a photo of them. I'll put it up if I find that. But Anne was a doctor's receptionist and also worked to raise 2 boys. So they had 2 boys together.
Busy mom.
Busy mom, super busy.
Busy working mom.
Yeah, love that for her. She's a hard worker. John was a teacher. He was actually teaching science and mathematics for 18 years.
In what school? In high school?
I actually didn't write it down.
In, what do they call it? University?
Oh, university. Look at you go. I'm not quite sure. I want to think that it was like a high school, but I didn't write it down, so I'm not sure.
I think they call it secondary school.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
We don't know anything about the UK. You know, it's funny. Brett's dream job would be being a teacher. That's so random. He just loves teaching. But
He should start teaching stuff.
I know he wants to. That's such a hard thing to make a career.
It depends what skill it is.
Yeah, that's true. But it's very interesting. I'm like, being able to teach is a very important skill to have.
I'm a terrible teacher.
Yeah, you are. You're a really bad teacher.
No, you're a bad student.
Wrong. You're mean. You have no patience is what it is. But that's okay.
No, I'm patient.
Not with me.
No, I was just trying to understand where you're at.
Okay, Blake instructed me for 3 days, and we called it quits when I was going through flight school. I was like, heck no, this is going to work. Anyways.
No, I said heck no.
Rude. No, I fired you. No, we got over it fast, whatever. But after those 18 years, he actually went and briefly worked at a bank, and then he actually ended up settling into a night job at the HM prison home house as a prison guard.
Sick.
I feel like that'd be kind of scary. I don't know much about any of that stuff, but I'm like, you probably can see some.
I bet if you're just respectful, then they're respectful. I feel like that's how most places are.
I would like to think that.
I don't know about prison, but I feel like it would be.
I haven't talked to anybody that has done that job, so I wouldn't know. But then you also hear like videos of people being like besties with some of the inmates and stuff, like cool relationships. Anyways.
Or like people hooking up with inmates.
Ew, that's so messed up.
Like guards getting pregnant.
Ew, that's a thing?
I think a guard went to jail for that.
I would hope so. That's so wild. That's so disturbing.
It was a guy guard too. No, I'm just kidding.
Get pregnant? From our research, I don't see that John was doing this. And also, as always, shout out to Hannah. She put this together, did a lot of the research, so she's best. So from what Hannah. She has given me, doesn't seem as though he's hooking up with any of the inmates. So we love that about John.
Yeah.
Well, John and Ann decided that they wanted to be somewhat financially diverse, you could say. They ran a business where they would rent bedsits with 12 houses. So basically this means that this is what it's called over there, I guess. Basically it means they owned rooms in these houses and then would rent them out. So it's like Airbnb in one room. Like,
they own a bunch of rooms?
Yeah, rooms, not like houses.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, it's called bedsits. So if you ever go to the UK, you can do that.
But like, where are these houses? It's just like a guy owns a house and he's like, you can buy my house or buy my room.
Yeah, I think you buy a room.
Or rent my room. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
From what I understand about this, and they
can
rent however long they want that room or whatever, you know. So I guess it's a common form of accommodation throughout the UK.
I'm kind of a house. What's it called?
A bedsit.
I'm kind of a bed sitter.
You kind of are. I know. I even wrote that down. I'm like, it might be pretty hard to fill these rooms, don't you think? Because it seems hard to, like, I mean, obviously it depends where your location is, but you know a thing or two about housing and rentals and people being crazy sometimes.
I mean, it's not hard to fill, but you just got to have good people.
Yeah. You had a fun experience this week.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, so that's kind of what they dabbled in. The couple also decided to purchase 2 houses. So they did end up buying 2 houses and rent out the rooms in the same manner. So they're actually in the Seton Carew area, which I actually...
So they're in co-living before Pat split.
Basically. And yeah, so now they bought these 2 houses. They're like so beautiful. They're in England. They're these like big townhouses type, like right on the beach. Beautiful place. Yeah.
Must have been affordable back then.
I mean, it didn't seem like it was too affordable because it seems like it wasn't the financial thing that they thought it was going to be.
Oh, no.
So it was difficult. I don't have all the details on like how difficult it was, but it seemed like it had done pretty well where they had people and residents staying with them. So John started to go back to a hobby that he had done many years before, which was canoeing, is what they say. Everyone calls this canoeing. It is definitely kayaking. Like canoeing.
It's because it's the UK.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about. Canoe, I picture 2 people. It's like open, you know. Kayak, you're like surrounded in it, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a kayak where he's like sitting by himself in it. Regardless, John had done this back in the day. That's kind of his hobby. And now that they're living like on this beach, basically, he got back into it. And John had gone out to kayak after getting off work early on the morning of March 21st, 2002. Hours passed, though, and there was still no sign of him. Desperate for help, John was reported as missing when he didn't come home or show up for his shift that night at the prison. So now they're getting worried. And he's like kayaking in the ocean. So it's not like it's like this pretty little calm lake. So it can get pretty rowdy at times. You can get into currents. It's not like a super easy breezy type of kayaking.
I bet it's cold.
Probably freezing. Yeah, you're in the North Sea. It's like, it's gotta be so cold.
Yeah.
I hate cold water. I was just talking to a captain. He's saying the more north you go, there's so many box jellyfish you can't even go in the water that it's like.
In the UK?
He's from Wales.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying it's like so many jellyfish or so many, like everything that can kill you is up north, but you have to go to the south beaches. And that it's freezing. So this is kind of what I picture. I don't know exactly where it is in comparison to North Wales. But anyways, well, a huge search quickly began because the obvious threat at play. It's not one of those cases where like, okay, they're an adult. They can disappear if they want. But like the last time he was seen was on this like ocean. Like that's pretty concerning.
Yeah.
So they weren't like dilly-daddling, waiting around to try and see if he just comes back home.
Yeah. What's the UK police called?
I don't know. Do you know?
No.
Oh, are they not called the police?
Maybe, but I know like Canada is like the Canadian Mounted Police or something like that.
Whoa.
The Royal Canadian Mounted Police or something.
I'll see.
I thought maybe they had a cool name.
That
Like
would be
the King's Guards or something.
UK police are officially known as police officers. Or
Oh,
constables.
look at
Or
constables.
That's
That's what it is.
You're so excited.
Wait, look up Canada.
Commonly nicknamed bobbies or peelers.
Hell yeah.
That's weird. In reference to Sir Robert Peel. Oh, very interesting. Okay, and Canadian.
Yeah, I think it's the Royal Canadian Mounted Police or something. Mountain something.
Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Nice. RCMP.
RCMP.
Also
They don't do
known
anything.
commonly as Mounties.
Yeah, I've heard that people don't really like them.
Do or don't?
Don't.
Oh.
I heard for missing people, they don't really look.
Oh, that's sad.
But I don't know.
Where are you hearing these things? Just true crime?
Podcast.
Podcast. Huh. Yeah, I would have never known that. That's so funny. I always just thought everyone just universally called them police. So now we're talking about bobbies and peelers.
Yeah.
Well, these bobbies and peelers, they're like, we're sending out
Constables.
these constables, like, we're sending out a rescue team right away. The rescuers searched 62 square miles of coastline. 62. Well, that's a pretty good distance.
Mm-hmm.
But they were unable to find any evidence of John or even his equipment. Like, everything was gone. The North Sea was actually unusually calm at this time. Like I said, typically oceans, you don't expect that. But this time it seemed a lot more calm. And the searchers did not have a clue of how John had gone missing. Sometimes a kayaker could end up tangled in shipping lane and months later be found in Scandinavia. I was literally like, where the frick is Scandinavia from here? I was like, there's no way that that's real. But it is like across the way. So I can see like being washed up over there. But I'm like, you're found months later in a whole different area. That'd be so scary. Also, how are you surviving? What are you eating? Anyways.
He was alive? Sorry, I was zoned out for 1 second.
This is just saying that kayakers in general, that's happened to them.
Oh, yeah,
So they're like, maybe he's in Scandinavia, right? So they're just searching anywhere he could have washed up to.
Yeah.
The next day, though, John's equipment was found, but not John.
Not in Scandinavia.
Not in Scandinavia. His kayak washed up. And now they're fearing the worst. A coroner's inquest was done. And just over 1 year later, on April 10th, 2003, John was presumed dead, and a death certificate was issued. And
they didn't find the body. They just said, like, there's no way he could survive.
Yeah, and so that's what they're thinking because the kayak seemed to be in bad shape. Like, it looked like it got through a crash, and it had been a year, and still John wasn't turning up. So the obvious sign is things are looking bad, right?
Yeah.
Anne and her 2 sons now are just devastated. And I guess, like, I think you kind of hear it with families of, like, missing persons. You kind of feel closure when there's, like, a death certificate or you do some sort of memorial or funeral or something to, like, kind of end that era. And it seemed as though maybe this was the closure they needed to move on a little bit. But as you can imagine, you're picturing, like, you're not sleeping at night. That's, like, the worst death you think of, and how sad that's, like, your person. And sons at this time, I think they were in their 20s. So they were, like, older adult kids. Each year on March 21st, Anne and her sons would go to the seashore and lay out flowers for John. And, like, I'm not sure if they did, like, a formal memorial with friends and stuff, or is this, like, their little family thing they do every year. But the little family of 3 would do what they could to keep their dad and husband of the family honored and alive. And Anne did what she could to move on with her life. And she decided that she needed to move. I feel like this is so common with widows. You always see that they get up and leave the area because it's like so hard to be where the accident occurred or whatever it may be. So she was looking for a fresh start. Plans were actually being made where she would land, and she finally decided on Panama. She's like, I was like, who thinks of Panama? I'm thinking of like a different state next door, you know? So she decides on Panama. The family home was sold in October 2007, so a few years have passed since 2002. And I watched like a news article on her and how she was handling her grief and how her sons handled it. And she made it sound like her sons were very encouraging of her to move.
And my youngest son in particular had travelled extensively. So to them, wherever you are in the world is just a plane ride away. It wasn't like I was deserting them. They felt that I deserved an adventure, and they were quite pleased that I was going off to do something that I'd wanted to do.
So
I guess Mom moved to Italy.
Mom, I was like not aware that this was a thing for widows and widowers. Yeah, Mom within like a year was in Italy. So random for 6 months or whatever. And well, she moved to Utah within like 4. So she moved states and then she moved countries, and I guess that's just what people do when they're sad. And their sons sound way better than I was. They were
You were scary.
They were supportive. I wasn't scary about her moving. I was scary about her getting back out there. But the sons are way better than me, way nicer children, and they were very supportive of her doing what she had to do. So
you were just feeling
I had all the emotions. I was a daddy's girl. What can you expect? Let's see. Oh, yeah. I just put, maybe they're just older and more mature than me. They're like 26, 27, maybe 23, 24. I guess that was probably my age range. But so I was like, maybe they're a little more mature handling how their mom handled it. But
yeah, maybe they were like me.
Maybe they're like you, that they don't say their opinion when they're sad. Got him. Just kidding. Okay, well, Blake. So this is your opportunity to tell me, was this a tragic accident? Is there foul play? Is there a runaway? What are you thinking? His kayak came up. He's not to be found.
Well, you told me not to go off of what I was thinking
I shouldn't
before.
want you to like get fixated on one thing.
I think that...
And you can ask questions. I may or may not answer them.
I think he got in with some wrong people.
Okay.
He got behind on the mortgages.
Okay.
Found a loan shark.
Ooh, those loan sharks.
Got paid money.
Got loan sharks. Fed him to the sharks.
Yes.
Ooh.
He couldn't pay back. He was trying to avoid him. They found him kayaking. Killed him.
Jeez.
And that's what happened.
Okay. You sit on your plans? Because
Yeah.
I'm about to unravel everything.
And then...
Oh.
I think that's about it, actually.
Okay. So he got behind on payments, and people came after him because he got a fat loan.
Yep. And then they threw his stuff out to make it look like he got
An accident.
in a canoeing accident.
I like it. Okay. Well, let's go into it then.
All right, quick break from the case. Because if you've ever looked up at a plane and thought, I wonder what it's like to actually fly one, this is for you. Today's episode is brought to you by Simply Fly Flight School, a local flight school right here in Arizona that makes learning to fly simple, fast, and actually affordable. Simply Fly offers discovery flights where you can get in a real plane with a certified flight instructor, take the controls, and experience what it's like to be an actual pilot. No experience needed, just show up and enjoy. And for our listeners, you can get $10 off your discovery flight when you book through simplyflyco.com. Whether you're checking off a bucket list item, thinking about becoming a pilot, or just want the coolest experience you'll have all year, this is it. Head to simplyflyco.com, book your discovery flight, and use podcast discount to save $10. Now back to true crime.
On December 1st, 2007, so now we're 5 years after he went missing and presumed dead, a man walked into the West End Central Police Station saying that he had no memories of who he was or what had been happening for the past 5 years. All he knew was his name was John Darwin.
What the heck? So he... I think I heard about this before. Continue.
Okay. So this was like their guy, supposedly. Like, he was the missing man on the kayak. Was he washed ashore? He hit his head. He didn't know where he was.
Did we do one similar to this?
No, but I think you're thinking maybe of that true crime kayaking story where he came back.
No. Because that one, the guy left on purpose. Because he wanted to go marry. He wanted to be with a girl in Croatia or something like that.
That's so random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He faked his own
I know
death.
we haven't done this one, but
Yeah.
maybe you've heard of it before.
Or remember that family who just all left because they like left their house and then
And went to
the
the
son got
woods?
mad and like no not that one.
Oh.
The son like they like got rid of all their cell phones and the son still had a cell phone and
Oh,
they
in
kicked him
Australia.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was weird.
That is super weird.
Alright,
Yeah.
continue.
Okay. So this is what they're thinking. They're like, okay, did he hit his head? Is this really John Darwin? That's always the first question. It's
Mhm.
like, okay.
Honestly, our drinks look like they should be switched. Like mine's so girly and
Yeah.
yours
And
is manly.
I'm like having a beer, like mocktail. Hilarious. Okay. Well, anyways, when the police saw John, they were like, "This is confusing." They were kind of suspicious right off the bat. I mean, he seemed to have been like dressed and well fed. It's not like he's been like out at sea for 5 years. Which also, I'm like, you expect him to just be tagged up and whatever
for
like,
5 years.
Yeah, for 5 years. Like obviously he got somewhere, especially if he has like amnesia or anything like that.
Yeah, also 5 years. It's like, how do you not go ask someone or ask the police who you are if you don't know who you are at 5 years?
I know. I was telling Hannah that there's a case that reminds me of this, and actually I don't know if we're gonna do it someday, so I may not tell you. But it's very similar where that's a real thing. You can lose your mind and just be like living that lifestyle for a while. So we'll see if we end up doing that. That's in Wyoming. It's kind of an interesting one.
Thanks for the likes.
Appreciate it.
Just kidding.
So I mean, they're just like kind of suspicious of him. Like, you seem like you're in good health, and like, yeah, exactly what you said. You're just now coming around after 5 years. Where have you been this whole time? The cops notified the family immediately, as you can imagine. And Anne was thrilled to know that her husband was alive and well, all things considered.
She's in Panama?
And I think, let's see, we're in 2007. Yeah, she might have been back and forth. It doesn't seem like she was there, like, permanently, you know?
She's just doing a temple.
Yeah,
Things.
she's doing a 6 month just, like, staycation. So their sons, Anthony and Mark, the two boys, they were obviously elated as well that their father was alive. And I literally can't imagine his feeling. For 5 years, you've been like mourning this person. You go and put flowers at the sea every year on the anniversary, and they just come walking up. That would like freak me out, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, that would turn your world upside down. I don't even know what I would do. Like, this is year 6 of us like losing dad. That's like dad walking up right now. I would really piss my pants. That's crazy. So I can't imagine what they're feeling. But they were also shocked and eager to hear where he's been this entire time. Like, obviously he doesn't have a lot of memories, but he had to been put somewhere and living a lifestyle for a few years, you know?
Yeah. Like, he provided for himself.
Yeah, they're like, okay, surely the cops found him like in a homeless shelters. I mean, not him walking up like, hey, where
Like,
am I?
Yeah, he's like, my name is this. Like, anything crazy happened
Yeah.
to me? I don't remember.
Do we know why I'm around here? Yeah, so weird. He's also 200 miles away, remember? So it's not like he was just like in his own neighborhood.
The loan sharks put him 200 miles away. Said,
They're like, just
"Good
drop
luck."
him here. Yeah. See if he makes it back. Well, okay, so John and Anne were reunited. And it was like the happiest reunion, as you can imagine. All was well. Everything's great. That is until the true story started to unravel when the Daily Mirror published a picture on their website that would unravel 5 years of deceit. The photo was dated to have been taken in 2006. So 4 years after he went missing and a year before this, he walks up to the police office.
Wait, let me guess. He ran away, and then once all the bank stuff, probably like stuff with the houses were gone, he came back.
All the house stuff gone.
Yeah, like
he doesn't have to deal with like the financial stuff. Okay, I told you a photo is what unraveled everything. Can you imagine what's in this photo?
He is throwing the kayak into the lake.
Someone got
In
it
the
on
ocean.
camera.
What's that guy doing?
I know. 4 years after he went missing. The photo was of the super healthy, happy, smiling John Darwin, and
With his second family.
standing next to him, just as happy-go-lucky, was his wife, Anne Darwin.
Oh, they faked it.
This was 4 years
That's why
after
she went
he
to Panama. She didn't really go.
Ah! This photo was posted on the website movetopanama.com.
Gotcha.
A full year before John would come back from the dead. Okay, so here's what really happened March 21st, 2002.
They're savages.
Yeah. John and Anne were desperate need of money to pay off their 700,000 pound debt. Anne suggested that they just declare bankruptcy, according to her, and start over and redo life. John, on the other hand, was like, we're not claiming bankruptcy. Like, I'm not hearing you out at all. He didn't want to go that route. He decided the better option was to fake his own death and have Anne go along with it.
Insurance money?
And get the insurance. And they had it all planned out. So this is like a
Then
snippet
we
of
moved to
Anne's...
Panama.
This is a snippet of Anne's confession that I'll play right now.
I knew the day that John had gone missing that he had gone missing. And that he'd planned it. I got a telephone call from him at work on that afternoon to say that he was going to go out in the canoe and he wanted me to get home by 7 o'clock that evening to pick him up. Eventually he came towards the car and he said he had everything with him that he needed.
That's going to come into play
I feel
later
like
as
Anne
well.
has a hard job because she has to fake.
Oh my gosh. that'd be
Sad.
terrible. According to John, all they needed to do was wait for him to be declared dead and then use the insurance money to pay back their debt and move on with their life. So one thing I didn't mention was that Anne was able to retrieve John's life insurance money and had a payout of 152,000 pounds, which was...
Not that much.
Yeah, which... and nowadays like 551, which is about $385,000 US, which the insurance actually, they were like so hesitant to pay out. Like I think it took a long time to get this insurance money because literally within like the prior 3 cases, there were people faking their own death by going out to sea. Like there are 3 previous cases. They're like, oh, we're not doing that because this has been a common thing these days. So because they got the death certificate though, they did end up having to pay it out. And yeah, 3, like, that's like not even covering all their freaking debt.
Yeah.
Like, this was useless.
They're like, sweet, now we only have 500 grand more to pay.
Yeah, we're getting so close to our dream life. Yeah, seriously. So a big issue, though, the couple faced right off the bat would be how they would keep John hidden. Because he didn't, like, dip out of the country right away. Mm-hmm. The couple had purchased the home next door. So think townhouse types. They're, like, touching each other.
Yeah.
And this is actually kind of crazy. They had cut a hole in the wall between their bedrooms so that John could just come in and out of the house, like between the 2 houses. Which also, I'm like, why it is...
It's like the Ridgeways.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I guess that's the thing. So he would just kind of sneak in between the houses as he pleased. So if you remember, they would make money by renting out rooms, though, like in their house. And one day, a tenant actually saw John and literally said, aren't you supposed to be dead? And John's like, don't tell anyone about this.
Weird.
And this guy was
They
like...
didn't.
Yeah, he's like, okay. I know, this
It's like,
guy
hey, as long 10%
so chill.
less.
He's like, lower my rent. Later, when this tenant spoke to police about it, he's like, yeah, I just didn't want to get involved. And I'm like, this is the chillest guy ever.
Yeah, he's like, well, I mean...
He's like, I love where I live.
It's not like anyone killed him, so that's good. I
He's
mean,
like,
not
it's
hurting
great
anyone, not
news.
telling anyone.
Yeah, great news. He's not dead.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of wild. John would sometimes go out and about to get some air. He grew a beard in an attempt to like disguise himself. I thought I saw on some sources that he had been recognized before. I'm not sure if it was referring only to this tenant, but I'm pretty sure there must have been 1 or 2 others that had like recognized him.
I'm sure police have that all the time, though, where it's like...
I saw him.
Yeah, I saw him, and then it's like, all right, we can't chase every time someone thinks they see a guy that looks like him.
Yeah, but also, like, I feel like it's different if they know him. Like, the tenant, for example, like, lived with the guy. He's like, oh, you're John. Aren't you dead? He's
And
like,
in the house, too.
yeah,
It's not
and
like,
he specifically says, don't tell anyone.
yeah. He's like, no.
Not even trying to be suspicious.
Yeah. I'm not
Not
John.
suspicious.
I'm Sean.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's kind of funny you say that because you'll see in 2 paragraphs.
His name's Sean. I'm just kidding.
Hilarious. One thing also that they did, since he would go out and get fresh air a little bit, when he would come back to the house, he would have to look at the curtains. And if they were hanging down, he knew it was safe to enter. But if they were parted or hanging to the side, then John knew that people were over and he wasn't allowed to go in. And this was even pertaining to his own sons. His sons never knew about the plan. They never knew that his dad was alive this entire time, and their mom was help hiding him. That makes me so sick. I can't imagine that portrayal. Like, you just let me sob and grieve, and talking to the mom, you're like, and you just let me? That's so sickening.
For $700,000 though.
They didn't even get $700,000. It's
I know,
like or whatever the pounds. It's so sickening. It was in 2004 that the Darwins decided to move away from England. Like, okay, we can't be hiding you in this house forever. They first decided to move to Cyprus, and John needed a new passport. So he found that there was a John Jones who had passed away in 1950, who was about his same age as John Darwin. That's why I said, like, I'm Sean. Oh, yeah. He literally steals the identity of a man who passed by the name of John Jones instead. After stealing this poor man's identity, how sad. Like, you passed away 50 years earlier or whatever, but like, little do you know, like, your identity is getting stolen. So the couple went to...
I wouldn't care that much.
I mean, it's just weird. Like, what the heck?
I know, I'm just joking.
The couple went to look at properties, and they decided that
they should probably stay away from real estate.
They really should. They're like, okay, don't be looking at any properties. Obviously, that's not their forte. So John spent most of his downtime using the computer and spent much of his time on the internet.
Gaming.
I mean, it's 2005. Like,
they're probably
4.
I guess maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe the
Who knows?
Game Boy. Like, so it just sounds like such a boring
Pokemon.
life to me. Yeah, he's playing Pokemon. Not Pokemon Go yet, but
Emerald.
Yeah, so I just feel like that'd be so tough. You're not meeting people. You're living alone. Like, you barely even got any money. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is probably, though, what led him in 2005 to head out to the United States for a time. He had met a woman from Kansas with whom he had spent a few months with before returning to the UK. So my initial thought is, this slippery fish makes his wife, like, vouch for him and then goes to the United States and hangs out with this chick in Kansas.
Yeah.
However, so her name is Kelly, and they met while playing an online game. Yeah, so I guess online games.
Yeah.
Evidently, Kelly agreed to buy a 20-acre farm for John with the money that he was going to bring with him, and John had made 2 different trips to buy the land with Kelly. John had told Kelly that he had lived of dreaming in a small area with like less than 200 people, and he was a British citizen. He was using a fake ID, so he was going to need Kelly to purchase the land for him. So after a few months of not hearing from him, John seemed to have just lost interest or wanted to live somewhere else. And Kelly, her husband, and friends all insisted this relationship was purely business-based. So my first thought was like, you fishy SOB. But it seems as though he was using Kelly to potentially buy land in the United States.
Yeah.
It does seem to have fallen through it. So obviously he's just scrambling. He's trying to find anywhere to live. Nothing's working out. He even went to Gibraltar. What the frick is that place? Gibraltar. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Evan, I shouldn't even need to know how to say it. I guess it's a British overseas territory on the coast of Spain. But he went over here. He was looking at a 45,000 pound, 42-foot catamaran, and he was thinking about buying that to spend his time on.
Should probably stay off the water too.
He should stay off the water. He should stay out of debt. Like, where are you getting this money? You don't even have 42,000 pounds. Like, yeah. So this guy obviously has no idea what he's doing. Doesn't have any money, and he's doing what he can to stay missing. He's going to the most random places. So that's what takes us to 2006. This is when the couple finally decided on Panama. From the son's perspective, their mom just needed a fresh start, help with the grieving process, all that stuff we talked about. They had no idea she would be with their missing dad or anyone else at all, really. So the property manager, this is like really what out of them. The property manager that they talked to, like getting a place in Panama, he took a photo with John and Ann. It's like, congratulations type of photo, you know? They're like smiling there. They're looking so excited. They're in Panama looking at properties. And this was the photo that was their undoing. After they decided to move to Panama, they sold all the homes that they owned and wired their money to Panama. The couple would go back and forth a few times to settle affairs in the UK before moving to Panama permanently. In September 2000, a colleague of Anne's had actually overheard a phone call between Anne and John. And the colleague went to the police and like, this is like when police got the very first tip that they think that John's actually still alive.
Yeah.
So unbeknownst to the Darwins, the 3 months leading up to John reappearing, the detectives were actually already involved in the case, but didn't have the evidence to know like where John was, what he was doing, or if it was even fraud. But like 3 months before he comes wandering in like an idiot, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we've been like on your case this whole time.
Yeah.
Isn't that so embarrassing?
Yeah. He's like, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm the way in. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you do.
I know. And they're just looking at him
He
like,
probably saw the Australian case. He's like, I'll do that.
I know, I'm on it. Yeah, so dumb.
Or not the Australian one. The one that we talked about one.
We talked about one.
Yeah.
I think.
That one.
That one. That is until, well, okay, so they were like on him or whatever. So this is how this whole amnesia plan came to be, all these issues. John told Anne that their identities would need to be verified police for them to receive the required Panamanian so many Panamanian investors visas. And since John was using that fake John Jones ID, he would never make it past the scrutiny of the police. Mm-hmm. So that's when they decided this new plan was going to be formed. He was going to go back to the UK and claim amnesia, and walked right into the arms of the waiting investigators that were just
He's like,
already
thanks for making my job easy.
I know, they like have all his case out, and he walks in like, oh, this is perfect.
Like, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, coincidentally, John Jones.
That's even your real name?
Yeah. And it's funny because I'm like, you're such an idiot. He's like, I just want my ID back so that I can, buy the land over here. He's so ridiculous. So John made this grand return, right? And Anne put on the surprise, elated wife. Like, she put on the whole act, like, oh my gosh, my husband's back from the dead. But the couple was so far behind on when everyone else already knew. That'd be so humiliating. That this had been the ultimate insurance fraud. When Anthony and Mark found out that their dad faked his death and that their mother was in on it, they felt beyond betrayed, as you can imagine. And they actually cut off all communications with both of them right away. This is sad. They're in their 20s, and they lose both parents right off the bat after thinking they already lost their dad. Anne actually talked about this on a talk show, seemingly very remorseful. If I can find it, I'll put it up.
I didn't actually tell them personally. Other members of the family did that on my behalf. But still, it was my doing, and that is something that I will live to regret for the rest of my time.
Must be a hell of an actress. That's a tough thing to pull off.
Well, the emotions were genuine emotions, but for the wrong reasons.
After Anne was shown the Panama photo, she actually had a different story locked and loaded, ready to roll. She told the police that for the first year after John went missing, she thought he was dead. It was only after the insurance payout came that he showed back up. She told the police that she had no idea of the plan to fake John's death. And this was the story that she stuck with until her confession that I previously played. So I'm like confused because this is going to come up later, but she tells them this whole lie. I didn't know for a year. He came back around.
Just trying not to get in trouble.
Then she has a recorded confession saying that she was there day one, helping him get out of the sea, all this stuff. And so that's like a very confusing thing that we're going to kind of go into in just a second. But just keep that both in mind because it's going to be relevant. So the police arrested John and Anne a few days after John turned up at the police station. Like right away. Mm-hmm. Like, we got him. He was charged with insurance fraud and making false statements to obtain a passport. Anne was arrested in connection with the fraud. John ended up admitting to 7 charges of obtaining cash by deception and a passport offense. He denied 9 charges of using criminal property. And Anne denied 6 charges of deception and 9 charges of using criminal property. On July 23rd, 2008, John and Anne were actually convicted of fraud. John faced an additional charge related to the passport. He was sentenced to 6 years and 3 months in prison, and Anne was actually sentenced to 6 years and 6 months in prison. So she has 3 months longer than John. Mm-hmm. So this is what I was about to say, is that it's kind of confusing as to why that is. It's not very obvious. From what I gather, what Hannah and I talked about, it seems that it's because she pleaded not guilty and went to trial, whereas John ended up pleading guilty and just took the charge of 6 years and 3 months. So Anne went to trial and got longer time because she pleaded not guilty.
That's what happens.
And that's why I'm like confused. I'm like, there's audio recording of you saying that you were there the day that he went missing that we already played. And so I'm not sure if she's thinking that was going to get thrown out. Maybe she said it was a false confession. I don't have all the details on why, like, she has conflicting statements. But regardless, she was charged. The jury saw right through her and both appealed their sentence, but both cases were dismissed. John was released on probation in January 2011, and Anne released like March of that same year, so right after. So where are they now? John and Anne divorced in 2012, a year after they got out of prison at Anne's request, just shy of their 34th wedding anniversary. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
By July 2015, the pair no longer had any assets at all, having repaid the money the judge ordered them to £679,000. And as of 2022, John actually left the UK for the Philippines and remarried. The Daily Mail reached out to his new wife, Mercy May. She's like a cute young girl. And she said, quote, "I know what he did. He knows, and he paid the penalty. He does not need to be reminded." So she stands by him. Yep, he did his dues. And Anne seems to have managed to reconcile with her sons. Unlike John, she collaborated with journalist David Lee and wrote a book titled Out of My Depth. She has spoken publicly about her involvement in various accusations and claims that she was controlled by John through the years. So that's her defense. She said she was manipulated. She was controlled. She now goes on talk shows. She had that book. I don't see that she's gotten remarried, but it does seem like she has a little bit better relationship with her boys. And that is the weird, bizarre case of the Canoe Man, is what they call him.
Wowzers.
John Darwin.
John Darwin.
Yeah, isn't that so goofy?
That is goofy.
I was like shocked. I heard that case quite a while ago, and Hannah's like, "I want to do this one." I'm like, perfect. And I was just shocked about how, like, when it came up that there's a photo of the couple together. I thought from the start, I was like, okay, this guy's slippery. He probably just ran away from his family, want to start a new one. And then I saw this photo, and I was like, you gotta be joking me.
You're like, yeah.
I know. Woohoo, Panama!
Here, let me,
You want to do some true crime news?
yeah. True crime stories. All right, are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, so in this week's true crime news, teen allegedly killed and stuffed his mother in a trash bin.
No, why do people do that to their parents and
I don't know.
grandparents? We had a phase of a lot of elderly abuse.
Yeah, a missing mom, a chilling discovery, a son now accused. According to True Crime News, on January 30th, 2026, in Logan County, Oklahoma, a teenage boy was arrested and charged with first-degree murder after his mother, Spring Weems, was found dead inside a trash bin. Police say her son has been booked in connection with her death.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
horrible.
And Michigan...
I wonder what the motive was.
Yeah.
How do you get to that point?
A Michigan man sentenced
Boo.
up to 80 years for killing DoorDash driver.
No way.
Yeah. Justice for a DoorDash, a delivery driver, decades behind bars for fatal road rage killing. So according to True Crime News, on January 30th, 2026, Terrell Sims, 39, was sentenced to up to 80 years in prison in Michigan after being convicted for the 2025 shooting death of DoorDash driver Mamdou Diallo while he was completing a delivery. Sims was found guilty on multiple charges, including second-degree murder.
I was thinking the door driver was going to be dropping off food and got killed, but it was road rage.
I guess.
Dang.
All right. South Carolina woman shot and set on fire after fake puppy sale lure.
What the heck?
People are scary.
That's psycho.
A cruel setup turns deadly, and authorities are treating it as a murder and arson. I would treat that as a murder and arson, too.
Me as well.
All right. True Crime News states on January 22nd, 2026, 40-year-old Dana Marie Kinlaw was allegedly lured under the pretense of buying a puppy in Florence County, South Carolina, before being shot and set on fire in her car. 3 suspects, 19-year-old Ayanna Fleming, 31-year-old DeQuinn Thomas, and 31-year-old Nico Christopher Carryway have been charged with the murder, arson, and related offenses.
Jeez Louise.
All right. New Mexico, mother sentenced in neglect death of blind teen.
No way.
That sounds sad.
That's sickening.
So, neglect carries consequences. True Crime News says on January 26, 2026.
Whoa, that was like 3 days ago.
Yeah, the other one was 30th.
Oh, wow.
32-year-old Doralia Espinoza was sentenced to 15 years in prison in Albuquerque, New Mexico after pleading no contest to reckless child abuse, resulting in the death of her 16-year-old blind daughter in 2022.
Oh, that makes me so sick.
Yeah. LA firefighter accused of killing wife with an axe.
Axes! We need to get rid of those things.
I know.
People are mad about guns. Axes are the true crime news all the time these days. Wow.
Domestic tragedy in Los Angeles. Husband detained after gruesome killing. According to True Crime News, January 22nd, 2026, 45-year-old Andrew Jimenez, a longtime firefighter in Los Angeles, was detained on suspicion of killing his wife, 55-year-old Myra Jimenez, who was found beaten to death with an axe inside their home.
That's sickening. I guess a firefighter is the only occupation I expect someone to have an axe. I'm like,
yeah, true.
Unless you're living out in the woods, why would you ever have an axe?
Yeah.
So crazy.
Arizona man sentenced to life for
Whoa.
killing colleague. Fixation turns fatal. A man convicted in coworker's murder gets life. According to True Crime News, January 28, 2026, Tyler McGuire was sentenced to life in prison in Mesa, Arizona after convicted of first-degree murder in the death of a pizza shop colleague over an alleged fixation on the female coworker.
That is so wild.
Yeah.
That feels so weird if I'm the female coworker. I'm like,
And
you
it's
literally.
Mesa.
Yeah, how do we not hear about that? That's literally like this year?
I mean, he got sentenced this year. Wait. Yeah, he was sentenced this year.
I still feel like we should have heard about that. That's
Yeah.
pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
oh my
that's like in
that's
our
neighborhood.
area.
Yeah, that's like down the street.
Florida man.
Domino's off the Power Road.
Yeah. Florida man arrested for public sexual conduct at resort.
What the-
Strange arrest in Orlando area. Man charged after unsettling resort incident. According to True Crime News, January 27, 2026, 51-year-old Kevin Dale Westerhold was arrested in Florida on charges of expose of sexual organs and related offenses after deputies say he was observed performing sexual acts involving a vacuum cleaner
Ew.
near a resort.
What the frick? That is so weird. Okay, on that note, that is wild.
Yeah,
So,
that's a weird
sounds
one.
like the world just keeps getting weirder.
Yes.
And we'll always have true crime news. So, that is all we have for this week's episode. We'll be back next week with another episode of Siblings in Crime.
Adios.